Pandora's Adversaries. Interior day. Harvey Griffin's cult headquarters / home. The year is 2029. Harvey Griffin, Caucasian 40s, is giving a rhetorical, propaganda-style lecture to his cult members. He is charismatic and fiery. As he lectures, he is walking around the room, in and around the cult members, interacting with them.
Every one of us is a king. Yet we are fighting an almost insurmountable obstacle that prevents us from taking our rightful place on the throne. You all know her. You have all been bruised in battle by her. But none of us has lost the war against her. Pandora. According to Greek mythology, Pandora was the first mortal woman. And it was this first woman who opened a jar and released evil and disease into the world. Jewish folklore tells us of Lilith, Adam's wife, who refused to accept her proper place, subservient to her husband. So what did she do? She left Adam to mother demonic offspring with the archangel Samael. The story's always the same. Just a couple of weeks ago, right here in this country, Judge Carstairs, who is a woman, issued an order to forbid Brother Welland from having any access to his 2 young children.
Harvey points at Brother Welland, Caucasian 20s, while addressing the other members.
Look at young Brother Welland. Have you ever seen a more perfect picture of a promising young father?
Brother Welland blankly and expressionlessly stares straight ahead.
And his children's mother? Undoubtedly out there, fornicating, while he's here, engaged in the fight of his life. They take your homes and your children from you. They leave you destitute, while they're riding high with the best paying jobs that should be yours. It's time to take back what's ours, brothers, to defeat the Pandoras and the Liliths and all the women who have unseated us as the rightful masters of this earth. This is our mission. That concludes this morning's lecture.
Harvey gestures for everyone to rise. As the cult members leave the hall, Harvey calls Thayne, Caucasian, handsome 20s, aside.
Brother Thayne.
Yes, Brother Griffin.
May I speak with you a moment?
Sure, what about?
You've been spending a lot of time at the compound these past several weeks. I was wondering whether you'd given any thought to being relocated here full-time.
Well, actually, I'm not sure I'm ready for that. I've got an apartment and a job and,
When you're a full-time resident with our group, we provide all you need.
No, I know, but...
What troubles you, brother?
I'm not troubled, Brother Griffin.
Harvey puts his hand on Thane's shoulders.
Brother Thayne, remember, I practiced psychiatry before I started this movement. I'm pretty good at reading people. Now tell me, what troubles you?
It's just no matter how much time I spend here, I simply can't reconcile why Pandora's adversaries believe that women need to be wiped out.
Not wiped out, brother. Overthrown. You've lived your life subsumed by a propagated feminist agenda. We men seek only to take back from women what's rightfully ours.
Thayne is still doubtful. Harvey picks up on it.
Brother Thayne, I'd like to show you something that I'm sure will help you better understand what we do here and why.
What is it?
It's here, in this house. May I show you?
Thayne tries to avoid it.
How about next time? I need to get to work.
It'll only take a few moments.
Okay, sure.
Come.
Harvey puts his arm around Thayne and they exit the room together. Interior day, Lena's apartment. Lena Arnold, black 20s, physically think Vanessa Morgan, Paige Hurd, or a younger Zoe Saldana, is sitting at her computer in sweats, like she's just come from a workout. She's reading up on Harvey Griffin and Pandora's adversaries. She's still in disbelief that an organization with such a nefarious mandate can exist today. The cell phone on the desk vibrates. Lena sees Carm on her call display, telling her it's her best friend Carmen, any ethnicity 20s, calling. Lena hits the answer button.
Hey girl, what's up?
Not much. Just got a text from Sam.
Sam. Isn't that the guy you met at the pub after our kickboxing class last week?
Yup.
What did he want?
To go for a drink.
Seriously? He waits a week to text you? Girl, that is beyond hard to get. I hope you told him where to go.
I'm not even responding. As far as I'm concerned, he can have a drink with his right hand. Or left, whatever floats his boat.
That's the spirit, Carm.
Easy for you to say. You and Denny have been dating for what, like 3 months now?
Just about. I think he may actually be relationship material.
Why do I always feel so inadequate when I talk to you? It's depressing.
Talk about depressing. I'm prepping for my 4 o'clock interview with Harvey Griffin.
What? You're not seriously going through with this. I mean, the man is a sick, woman-hating bastard.
I'm interviewing him for my journalism grad school assignment. Not going on a date with him.
I still think he's fucked up to go. Isolated in the middle of nowhere, just Griffin and a bunch of his incel cult followers.
Carm, I'll be the first person to interview Griffin at his compound, on his turf. And I'm a woman. I'm thinking of the priceless look on his face when the irony dawns on him.
Is Denny at least driving you?
Denny doesn't know I'm going. You're the only one who does.
Why didn't you tell Denny? Wow.
No one's allowed to know about the interview until I hand it in. I had to agree to that in writing, or Griffin wouldn't do it. In fact, I already breached the agreement by telling you.
Well, you're not going by yourself. I'll drive you.
I have to drive alone, Carm. I'll be fine. You know how lethal I am in the kickboxing ring.
Trust me, I know. Just please be careful, okay? If anything gets weird or creepy, I'm just a text or phone call away.
If anything gets out of hand, you'll be the first to know. I'll be in touch as soon as I'm done.
Interior day. Harvey Griffin's cult headquarters home. Harvey and Thayne make their way down a staircase to a dark cellar area.
It's just down here.
Harvey leads Thayne to a room where there is a control/computer panel just outside the room and a large chair inside the room. A window looks out into the room from where the control panel is.
Here we are, Brother Thayne.
Harvey turns on a light, illuminating the inside of the room.
What is this, Brother Griffin?
Go in. Take a look.
Thayne wanders into the room and looks around. Harvey stays just outside. Thayne sees a chair. Beside it is a small table with a headset on it.
Exactly what am I supposed to be seeing here?
Have a seat.
Okay.
Now, you see that headset on the table?
This?
Yes. Put it on, please.
Okay.
Thayne puts on the headset.
Perfect.
Harvey throws a switch. Thayne feels the sudden jolting sensation of being pinned back against the chair forcefully, as though something is preventing him from moving or getting up.
Oh, what is this?
Harvey turns off the light. Thayne starts to struggle in the chair.
I can't move.
Thayne continues to grunt and struggle in the chair, even as Harvey continues speaking to him.
Quite right. When activated, the chair emits a rather formidable magnetic pull. Think of it as a gravity on steroids.
Yeah, I noticed that.
The brilliant work of an automated engineer I know, who's long been experimenting with magnetism of carbon.
Yeah, that's fascinating.
He intends to market a somewhat less powerful version as the next step in seatbelt technology.
Okay, that's all really cool. Now, can I please get up?
Brother Thayne, you are about to experience my greatest psychiatric invention, my psychotropic mind stimulator.
What? I said I want to get up.
Thayne continues to struggle. He is getting more agitated.
You see, psychotropic drugs change the way the brain processes information. The drugs are used to alter mood, thoughts, perceptions, emotion.
Let me up, Griffin.
The shortcoming is the patient needs to consistently take these drugs if he is to continue reaping their benefits.
Griffin! Let me the fuck up!
The psychotropic mind stimulator has the same effects on the brain as medication, except the effects are permanent, requiring only one treatment.
No, Griffin, stop. What the fuck are you doing?
Brother Thayne, in a few short moments, you'll see the world more clearly than you've ever seen it before.
Harvey throws a switch on the panel, activating the headset over Thane's head and face. Thayne cries out in intense pain.
Oh, fuck! It hurts! Turn it off! Get this off my head, please!
Brother Thayne, your mind is being opened to the true intentions of Pandora's armies. These armies are composed of all women, everywhere. Women you know, women you've loved, all pose a threat. None can be trusted.
Thayne continues to struggle, grunting in unthinkable pain.
You will only be at peace, and the pain will only subside once you accept that.
Thayne is shrieking hysterically.
Brother Thayne, women are the angels of darkness. Your mission is their annihilation. Accept your mission, brother.
Thayne is still shrieking hysterically.
Remember, total annihilation is the only answer. Accept your mission, brother. Accept it, accept it,
Thayne
accept
fades
it.
to Harvey's voice repeatedly saying accept it. With alternating close-ups of Harvey's face and her mouth, and shots of Thayne pinned in the chair, screaming in agony, his entire body trembling in intense pain. Exterior day, approaching the cult compound grounds. Lena is driving, getting close to Harvey's gated compound. She glances in her rearview mirror and sees a car in the distance. As the car gets a little closer, she recognizes it as Carmen's. Lena is visibly annoyed and phones Carmen while driving.
Hey girl, what's up?
What do you think you're doing, Carm?
Oh, I just couldn't let you go alone.
So you followed me? Carm, if you're seen with me, you'll blow this entire opportunity for me.
I know, hun. I'm so sorry. I was just so worried about you. I'll turn back right away. Forgive me?
Yeah, sure. But I'm writing you out of my Pulitzer Prize acceptance speech.
As long as you're safe, I can live with that.
Hey, Carm,
Yeah.
thanks. You're the best. I'll be in touch as soon as I'm done.
Lena's car continues driving, stops at the gate to the compound, and is let in. Carmen hangs back in her car, far enough away she's confident she cannot be seen. She thinks for a moment, then instead of turning back, proceeds to slowly drive a little further towards the gate entrance. Suddenly, a really good-looking cult member in his 20s steps in front of her car and just stares at her blankly and expressionlessly. Carmen is stunned as she slams on the brakes to avoid hitting him.
What the?
The cult member is just standing in front of Carmen's car, staring at her creepily through the windshield. Carmen is taken in with how good-looking he is, but also very creeped out. She gives him an awkward smile and honks her horn. He doesn't move and just keeps staring back at her. Carmen lowers her window and pokes her head out.
Are you with Harvey Griffin's cult or organization?
The cult member doesn't answer and remains motionless, staring at her through the windshield.
Hello?
Still no response.
If this is how shy, awkward guys flirt, this girl is not impressed.
Carmen turns the steering wheel to the right to steer around the motionless cult member. But as she is doing that, more cult members descend on the car, surrounding it. Young men are all around her car now, pressed up against it, staring inside at her. Carmen is freaking out, becoming hysterical.
What the fuck? Get away from me, you sick fucks!
Carmen is about to raise her window when one of the cult members reaches in. The camera then pans away from the car in a lockdown shot on the outdoor surroundings, and from off-camera we hear Carmen scream in horror. Scene fades out. Interior day, entrance to Harvey's home. Lena is standing in the entranceway of the home, waiting for Harvey. The cult member is tending to her, just standing there, staring at her blankly, expressionlessly. She's a little creeped out by him. After a few moments, Harvey arrives.
You must be Lena Arnold. Welcome. I'm Harvey Griffin.
Harvey extends his hand, which Lena accepts.
That's a pretty safe guess, Dr. Griffin, seeing as I'm the only woman in sight.
They both laugh. Harvey finds the joke genuinely funny, but he is somewhat taken aback by Lena's brash and forward sense of humor.
That's true, Miss Arnold. We typically address each other as brother around here, but I imagine that would be awkward conversation between you and I.
They both laugh again.
Why don't you just call me Harvey?
Sounds good, Harvey. Please call me Lena.
Right this way, Lena.
He puts his hand on her back as though to guide her through the corridor. She is noticeably put off by his touch and moves away slightly. As they walk down the hall, they pass the blank faces of a number of cult members. They are all staring at Lena. She is noticeably disturbed and uncomfortable. He shows her to a large study. Interior, Harvey's study.
Please, sit down.
They both sit down at a desk. Harvey pours coffee for them.
So tell me, Lena, why do you want to profile me for your journalism assignment?
I'm supposed to be asking the questions, Harvey, but that's a very clever way of trying to take control of the interview right off the bat.
Do you always suspect sinister, ulterior motives in people, Lena? And here I thought I was the radical conspiracy theorist.
Well, I know I'm not just dealing with another Jim Jones or David Koresh here. I'm locking horns with a trained psychiatrist.
Is that kind of name-dropping your sophomoric attempt at trying to rattle me? Because you won't find anyone claiming divinity or calling for mass suicide here. This isn't a cult, Lena.
No, of course not. But you do call for the mass purge of women from any and all positions of authority and influence in society. Can you explain that?
Our position is simply that the feminization of leadership and of the establishment has led the world astray. We believe that returning to male-dominated society will restore humanity's former greatness.
The message of Pandora's Adversaries is fraught with hate and encourages people to regard women with distrust and contempt. Frankly, I wonder if there's something more personal at play here.
Are you playing psychiatrist now, Lena?
I'm trying to get to the bottom of your philosophy, but I think I already know what it is.
Why don't you tell me then? What's our philosophy?
It's implied in the name, Pandora. Why would you choose such an inflammatory name?
It's catchy. What's in the name, Lena? You're grasping at figurative language.
Your license to practice medicine was revoked, wasn't it?
Harvey is caught off guard by the sudden shift in topic.
Yes, and the chair of the state medical board at the time was, and obviously still is, a woman.
So you blame women for the loss of your license?
I blame a culture controlled by a feminist agenda and female supremacy that made a scapegoat out of me.
You seriously believe you were a victim? Or were you stripped of your license following repeated findings of professional misconduct in the way you treated vulnerable female psychiatric patients?
They weren't vulnerable. All my female patients held influential positions and pretty much ran their pitiful husbands' lives.
The board found that you frequently misprescribed psychotropic medications to your female patients, which rendered them completely ineffectual in their jobs.
And the criminal investigation was closed for lack of evidence. I swore a Hippocratic oath, Lena. When I prescribed medication, it was in accordance with my professional judgment. Now, did you come here to discuss my former psychiatric practice, or do you want to talk to me about my role as founder and leader of Pandora's Adversaries?
The composition of your group's membership. Everyone seems to be white. If you truly speak for all men, why no visible minorities?
Probably because of feminist fear-mongering that tars us with the same brush as some kind of white supremacist cult, and yet nothing could be further from the truth.
Are any of the men here in relationships? Are they sexually active? There are clearly no women around. Why would any man choose such an isolated existence?
You need to understand, Lena. When a man's life has been uprooted and destroyed by a woman, it's something everyone here can relate to. We, as a brotherhood, are here to help him convalesce and heal.
Tell me about your personal story of victimization at the hands of women.
I thought we moved on from the circumstances that led me to the loss of my medical license.
Actually, I was thinking of something closer to home. I'd like to know about the past women in your life.
What about them?
You never married, did you? No children?
No.
Your mother. She became a state judge many years ago, didn't she?
So now you're going to suggest I was brought up in a matriarchal household by an overbearing, domineering mother. Is that your diagnosis, doctor?
Is that what your mother was like?
Harvey pauses, gazing at her creepily. Then he changes the subject.
You're a follower of Pandora, aren't you, Lena?
Lena is caught off guard by the sudden shift in topic.
If by that you mean, am I appalled by everything Pandora's Adversaries stands for, then yes, I suppose I am.
You haven't yet figured out that you were brought here for a purpose.
Lena is noticeably frightened by Harvey's comment.
What?
Lena pulls out her cell phone and starts texting.
You really are oblivious to it.
What purpose was I brought here for?
Lena looks at her phone, clearly concerned and frustrated, seeing that her texts are showing as not sent.
Is there a problem, Lena?
No, I was just texting my boyfriend to let him know I'll be late tonight, but my texts keep saying not sent.
Cell phone reception isn't very good here. Let me help you out with that.
Harvey presses an intercom button.
Brother Thayne, would you come down to my office, please? It'll just take a moment to walk down here.
What? Who will take a moment? Did you say Brother Thayne?
There is a knock at the door.
Come in, Brother Thayne.
Thayne enters, then shuts the door behind him.
I believe you two know each other.
Horror and shock befall Lena's face as she realizes that Brother Thayne is actually her boyfriend, Denny Thayne. Thayne is completely stunned to see her as well.
Lena? Brother Griffin, what is she doing here?
Lena gets up from her chair.
Denny, what are you doing here? What's going on? Why is he calling you Brother Thayne?
You no longer have control over him, Lena. He's one of us now. One of Pandora's adversaries.
What?
He never told you about his involvement with us because he knew you wouldn't understand or approve of him. And yet you say you love him.
What the fuck, Denny? Are you part of... How could you be part of this?
I don't understand. What is she doing here, Brother Griffin?
You fucking idiot, Denny. Don't you see? He tricked us both. This is all some kind of sick test of your loyalty to him. He wants you to choose between him and us.
She's not only beautiful, Danny, but highly intelligent and perceptive. One of Pandora's finest.
You totally played me, Griffin. Right down to your non-disclosure requirement, so that no one would know I came out here.
I surmise you never betrayed your journalistic principles and ethics.
Well, you gambled wrong on that one, Griffin. I guess I'm not as pure and noble as you thought. Because there is someone who knows I'm here.
There was. Not anymore.
What? Carm, please tell me you didn't kill her. You murdering bastard. So much for your Hippocratic oath.
Carmen's death is on your conscience, Lena, not mine. If you hadn't told her where you were going, she'd still be alive.
So what now, you bastard? You kill me?
Not me, Lena. That's Brother Thane's job.
What?
So this is the final step in his radicalization, Griffin? You're going to ask Denny to murder the woman he loves? Why didn't you just have him kill me as soon as I got here? Why even bother with the bogus interview?
Because you represent the best and the most ruthless of Pandora's armies, Lena. The interview was my opportunity to study your tactics, your strategy.
God, you're sick. Griffin, Denny could never hurt me. He loves me. Something you couldn't possibly understand. Come on, Denny, let's get the fuck out of here and call the police.
I can't. Lena, I'm sorry, I can't leave.
What the fuck do you mean you can't leave? You're choosing him? Denny, what the fuck did he do to you?
Thayne looks at her with despair and regret. He looks at Harvey, then back at Lena.
I'm sorry, Lena. This is who I am now. I'm one of Pandora's adversaries.
You sick fuck, Denny. You're as crazy as he is.
Lena bolts for the door to escape, but Thayne quickly catches her, grabbing her by the wrists. As he squeezes Lena's wrists, she winces in pain. Thayne then lets go of one of her wrists, so he can grab the cell phone out of her hand. She seizes the opportunity and punches Thayne in the face with a boxing-style hook, knocking him backwards. Lena starts for the door again as Harvey approaches.
Don't let her get out of here, Denny.
Lena quickly turns her attention to Harvey, delivering a vicious kickboxing sidekick to his chest. He is thrown back and falls to the floor, winded. But just as Lena turns back towards the door, she is immediately met with Thane's fist, as he winds back and cold cocks her in the face. She crumples to the floor, unconscious. Thayne realizes what he's done, looking at Lena as she lies there.
Oh my god, Lena!
You have to finish her, Denny.
God, don't make me. Don't ask me. I'm begging you, Harvey. I'll forget about her. Just let her leave, please. I love her.
Shh. Denny, listen to me. If we allow her to leave, everything we've worked on will be undone. You're one of Pandora's adversaries now. That's Pandora.
Harvey is pointing at Lena, still unconscious on the floor.
You'll never be the man you deserve to be so long as she's alive. You'll always be dominated, chained up. Now finish her.
I can't.
Oh, you weak, sniveling lapdog, just like all my female patients' husbands.
Harvey walks towards Lena. She is slowly beginning to regain consciousness.
What are you doing, Harvey? Please, don't!
You won't stop me.
Harvey puts his hand around Lena's throat.
Harvey!
Thayne collapses to his knees. Harvey places both hands around Lena's throat and begins strangling her. Lena tries desperately to pry his hands off and fight back, but she has barely even regained her senses. As the life is choked out of her, she looks into Thane's eyes one last time. Thayne can only stare back at her helplessly, his eyes welling up. He keeps his distance and does nothing. Lena's eyes roll back as she passes away. Once he's satisfied she's gone, Harvey releases his grip from her throat.
Why, Harvey? Why? You didn't have to do that.
No, I suppose I didn't. But you had to.
Harvey walks back to his desk and presses the intercom button.
I require 2 men in my office immediately.
Thayne is still on his knees, sobbing and overcome with grief, and he stares at Lena's lifeless body. The two summon men arrive.
Please take Brother Thayne downstairs. It appears there may be some case where a single treatment from my psychotropic mind stimulator isn't sufficient.
Scene fades out to a wide shot of Thayne being escorted out of the study, Harvey still standing at his desk, and Lena's lifeless body on the floor. Interior day, Harvey's home/cult headquarters. Once again, Harvey lectures the cult members.
What have we learned, brothers? That men must be vigilant. That if we let our guard down, as we have over the past centuries, Pandora's armies will defeat us.
Harvey pauses. His eyes are trained on a new young cult member, Brother Ryan, Caucasian 20s, sitting in the front row next to Thayne.
You appear troubled, Brother Ryan. Brother Ryan.
Yes, Brother Griffin?
Brother Thayne, would you take Brother Ryan in hand, please? It appears he needs your counsel.
Of course, Brother Griffin.
Thayne and Brother Ryan stand up.
Come.
Thayne puts his arm around Brother Ryan and they exit the room. Harvey continues the lecture.
Be it in public office, in business, in the media, in our systems of justice, Pandora's armies keep us chained up as slaves. But emancipation is imminent, brothers, as long as we remain united and active in our cause as Pandora's adversaries.
Fade into scene 8, with the last words of Harvey's lecture voicing over into the final scene. Exterior day, wooded area. The final words of Harvey's lecture are blended in with and voiced over this final scene. The bodies of Lena and Carmen are wrapped in a black plastic. Thayne and Brother Ryan are burying them. The men wipe the sweat off their faces with their dirty hands, making their faces dirty. Fade out to the final closing, voiced over words of Harvey's lecture from the end of scene 7.